Hello, I'm meteorologist Bill Steffen. The weather's going to be a little bit different today than what we've been used to here much of this fall. It will become kind of mostly cloudy here during the day today. Wind will pick up a bit. We've had a very calm fall so far, but look for some wind gusts probably over 20 miles an hour here, mainly this afternoon. And we have a chance for a light shower. The most likely time for the shower will be toward the evening, but it could happen at just about any time. And also, we do have a chance that there'll be a little bit more rain north of Grand Rapids than there will be to the south, and we'll show you that here in just a minute. Let's take a look at some low temperatures here from Thursday morning, and boy, look at the difference across our viewing area here. Leota, a little weather station that they have up in Clare County, which is north of Mount Pleasant, 22 degrees. They were 10 degrees colder than the freezing mark. Baldwin, Big Rapids, Ludington in the 20s. In Kent County, the coolest places were Ada and Caledonia at 33. Grand Rapids officially 37. You get closer to the lake, it was a little bit milder, 40 degrees there at Grand Haven. The thermometer out at the end of the pier at Muskegon was 46, and the Mid-Lake Michigan buoy had a low temperature of 57. In fact, over the past 24 hours, while the temperature was shooting up and down maybe 30 degrees in some inland areas, the temperature never varied by more than 3 degrees out at the buoy. So it's kind of interesting to see that going on. All right, we have a frost advisory again for us, but this is mainly in areas east of US 131. Along the lakeshore, we'll start to see the wind pick up a little bit, stir up the air, so the chance of frost is certainly lower. But if you're in places like Big Rapids or Montcalm County, Ionia, Eaton County, over toward Lansing and Jackson, there is the chance for a little bit of scattered frost here during the early morning. We'll look at some low temperatures here from that are forecast for Friday. And as you can see out on the lighthouse there at South Haven, 51 the low as the wind picks up there. Inland areas drop into the 30s, as you can see, but it won't be quite as cold in some of those really cold spots. Salt Lake, Leota, probably down close to the freezing mark here, and then they level off. And out over Lake Michigan, you can see the temperatures there in the upper 50s during the early morning. All right, some high temperatures here for Thursday, and everybody was pretty much the same. It was hard to find anybody that was too terribly different. Grand Rapids, 61. Everybody else pretty much low 60s during the afternoon. And at the beach, temperatures are pretty much the same. Muskegon Beach and the South Haven Beach were in even 60, same as some inland areas. Even up to the north, Gaylord, their temperature was 58 with some sunshine. Pretty nice day. And you can see the beach there. Wind was mainly out of the east. And so the lake was very calm out there, bright blue sky, no clouds to be seen in that picture. On we go. Here's a look at the climate data for October 10th. We continue to lose daylight at the rate of about 3 minutes per day, or almost 3 minutes per day. We're down to 11 hours and 17 minutes of daylight, with the sun setting now just a little bit after 7 o'clock in the evening. And we've lost another degree on that average high temperature, which is now 63. So the day we had on Thursday was pretty close to average, even though that felt kind of cool compared to what we've had. And you can see the Muskegon Lake Express ferry is still running, coming in the channel from Milwaukee there earlier Thursday morning. Record low temperature, 26, record high 85 for today, set in 1949. The lake forecast is kind of interesting with the wind picking up today. We're going for a southwest wind at about 12 to 22 knots. Some wind gusts to 25 to 30 miles an hour possible near the lake. Waves could increase to as much as 3 to an isolated 8-footer out there. And we do have small craft advisories in effect through Saturday. In Holland, it's kind of interesting. They did have some upwelling there, and water temperatures dipped into the 40s, but that has changed. And with the onshore breeze, we expect temperatures should be back up in the mid-60s. The picture shows the South Haven Pier, somebody fishing there, looks like over on the right side. And we've got that little tiki boat or whatever it's called that goes in and out, and they're still operating here into early October. All right, we're going to take time out now and thank one of our sponsors, Ace Hardware Handyman.
When your home needs help, you might not know where to start. Why not ask Ace? We're always here to help with Ace Handyman Services. Our talented craftsmen handle everything from drywall and carpentry to doors and kitchens. We're the neighbors you trust to get the job done right. Let's get started. Book your handyman appointment today. Ace Handyman Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Yeah, and you might not need a handyman right now, but when you do, think of Ace. The moon tonight is going to be out for much of the night here, and you can see it's still about 80 to 85% full. The moon is about 238,000 miles away from us on average. So that's a long way. If you could get in the car and drive to the moon at 55 miles an hour, it would take you about half a year to get there. Fortunately, the astronauts can go a little bit faster than that. On we go. Let's take a look at the severe weather reports, and they're out in Nevada and Utah. There were 2 in Utah, 1 in Nevada, and it's kind of interesting. They logged the one in Nevada at 32 miles north of Mercury, Nevada. There wasn't a town closer than that they could assign this one to, so that's kind of interesting. There'll be more showers and storms today and into the weekend out over Arizona and the desert Southwest. We'll take a look at the severe weather outlook area here for this Friday, and you can see that light green color. Nothing severe expected, but showers and thunder showers, parts of Arizona, Utah, Nevada, all the way up into western Montana. There'll be a chance of a thunder shower in places like Portland, Oregon, and Seattle. And in Michigan, you can see north of the line, this is for essentially the evening period. Yes, I agree, Kitty, I agree. Here's from about Pentwater to Escoda off to the north. And there'll be some heavier rain and maybe a clap of thunder from the Outer Banks of North Carolina down into Florida. And then we move on to Saturday, and things don't change a whole lot. There is a marginal risk right now across parts of Utah for Saturday and Saturday night. West Michigan will turn out to be dry during the afternoon on Saturday, though there's still an outside chance for a lingering sprinkle or shower here early on Saturday. Okay, up next we have the 66-hour rainfall map, and wow, look at the rain in Arizona. That yellow is what, 1.5 inches, and orange is 2 inches. That's a lot of rain, and it could rain, and with even a thunder shower in Phoenix and in Las Vegas, especially in those areas off to the north of Phoenix up into the hills. And look at the heavy rain that's going to fall along the East Coast. A little bit of a northeaster coming up, which should provide some fairly heavy rain, especially the Outer Banks of North Carolina, and the possibility for some isolated flooding. There is the possibility for some rain in Michigan, and we got a map here to show you that, the 66-hour rainfall map. Nothing for Coldwater and Indiana. What are the cats doing over there? They're making a lot of noise. Yes, I understand. We've got about 1/10 of an inch for Grand Rapids and those points to the north, and that darker green area by Traverse City is up to 1/4 of an inch of rain. So we'll see if we get that much, but rainfall amounts should in general be pretty light, and that would again be from this afternoon through tonight into very early on Saturday. And then we clear out again. Tracking the tropics, we've got Tropical Storm Jerry, and it's very close to the Virgin Islands. Fortunately, this is a tropical storm and not a bad hurricane, but it's going to scoot on by, producing some big waves there and some squalls, but no significant damage expected from Jerry. I think we have a path map for Jerry. That's going to take a path pretty much off to the north. And if we take a look at the map here, it shows the system becoming an H hurricane. Eventually, it goes east to Bermuda and then turns to the right and just kind of meanders away from the United States, like everything has been going here so far this fall. Out in the eastern Pacific Ocean, we'll show you the map for that, and that shows two systems, Priscilla, which is dying out, but is also producing some heavy rain with it, and that's going to move right toward Arizona. That will be followed by Raymond, and Raymond is kind of skirting the coast, but again, fortunately, it's just a tropical storm and not a major hurricane, so no real heavy damage is expected. I think we have a map to show you where the rain is going to be in Arizona, and you can see where the heavier rain falls With the wind out of the south, there's going to be some rain to the north of Phoenix up into the mountains. And that green area there is over an inch in 24 hours. You can see some heavier pockets of rain in the higher mountains in Utah and in Colorado as well. So Southwest getting some interesting rain out there. That's from the remains of Tropical Storm Priscilla. We have two storms in the Pacific, and both of these are weakening and moving away from Japan. It's like Japan has the shields up, like on the Enterprise of Star Trek. You can see Halong, which was a decent hurricane, is all sheared out and moving off toward the east in pretty rapid pace there away from Japan. And Nakri, I think we have a map. Let's go to the next one here, and I think we have a map. There's Nakri. You look at it, it's going straight toward Japan, and then whoop, makes a right turn and just moves away from Japan. So really no major problems there are expected. All right, let's go on here and take a look at our headlines. Isolated shower possible mainly this afternoon and tonight. Partly to mostly cloudy, so not as much sunshine. My solar panels have really given me a good amount of heat here of late, but not so much today. Average temperatures this time of year, low 60s, and it will be a little windier than we've had here the past several days. Here's a look at what we expect for the day today. Temperatures low 60s. Early morning will be in the mid to upper 30s. I got the chance of rain at about 50-50. So if you're going to a high school football game, there's certainly a chance that you'll see a light shower or sprinkle, but the players will play right through that. We're not expecting any lightning or thunder here. 60% on the humidity for the afternoon. Southwest winds a little stronger, 10 to 20 miles an hour during the afternoon hours. Some high temperatures today. If you're along the lakeshore, it'll be about the same as it is inland. We're looking for mid-60s in most areas. 64 Chicago, 67 for Detroit, everybody pretty much the same. And even off to the north, Traverse City 64, Gaylord at 60. Up in the UP, there'll be temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s. And then during the day on Saturday, much the same, where we may be a degree or two warmer, but pretty much the same. And you can see even up in the UP, upper 50s to low 60s across the area. Chicago gets 66. Detroit, a couple degrees cooler on Saturday at 63. Look at the 5-day forecast. We got clouds and a chance of a shower today. There will be sun poking through from time to time, but more clouds than not. The 30% for Saturday on rain is mainly for the morning. I would suspect most of us will be dry during the afternoon. Sunny for Sunday, should be a beautiful day. Temperatures in the upper 60s. We'll call it mostly sunny on Monday, which is Columbus Day, by the way. So don't expect any mail on that day. Temperatures back up close to 70 on Tuesday. I got the chance of rain Tuesday at 20%. That would be late in the day. So if we got something scheduled for Tuesday, most of the day there should be in good shape. And the 8 to 14 day outlook updated every day. We're in the near normal category for temperatures with cool weather on the coasts in California, and also for places like New York, Washington, Boston should be a cool period. And in terms of rainfall, the map shows rainfall should be near normal here, below average in the southeast and above average. Some of the moisture from the hurricanes Priscilla and Raymond will come up into the western United States and then eventually kind of spill out a little bit into the plain states, though we won't see much of that here in the state of Michigan. Well, Michelle not with us here this evening, but some interesting information to share with you here. This is from Bob D. As you know, buoys in the lake are buoys in the lake, boys too, I guess, are retrieved for the winter about now. Now they're staying in a little bit later, and I think that may be the case this year with the mild pattern that we've had. We've had a lot of people boating, and they want to keep those in as long as possible so people can see what's going on. They're not subject to government shutdown. Of course, we need that buoy data when we're tracking big storms, especially hurricanes. Here's the local ones, and he gives us the information here. And these readings were taken as of 6 o'clock here on Thursday. You can get the data via the Seagull app or the Seagull website, and I will definitely be checking that out. And thanks to Bob for passing that along. Okay, what else we got here? I think we got some interesting information for you. The Olympics opening October 10. These Olympics opening October 10 were the first to be relayed live via satellite. That's kind of neat. their host city would host the belated 2020 Summer Olympics. Yeah, because it was October, wasn't it? These are October 10th. Was that the year of COVID? Would that have been like 2020, perhaps? Yes, this 2020 Summer Olympics is right there in front of me. Okay. All right, let's go on and take a look at the next slide. And we'll see what else we got here. The Tokyo Olympics in 1964 is the answer to that. And you got the 5 rings there. It kind of reminds me of the symbol for Audi cars. You have that Olympic symbol there on the front. And the red circle representing Japan. So thanks for passing that along. Tokyo Olympics 1964. All right, on we go. And we'll see what's coming up next. This American steeplechaser athlete was born October 10, 1961 in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Yeah, he's about ready to retire now, I would think. Grand Rapids, Michigan, graduated from South Christian High School and the University of Michigan. He won bronze at the 1984 Olympics, and he's hung around the Grand Rapids area here. I believe this is Brian Deemer, if I'm not mistaken. Deemer family here on the south side of Grand Rapids. So let's go on to the next slide and see if we got the right answer here. There he is. The image does not depict Brian Deemer, by the way. We're kind of limited as to what we can use and the amount of time that we have to find a picture. But Brian's a nice guy. He really is. I remember talking to him back in when that was going on here, and that was quite a few years ago now. He's sometimes in the Cutlerville Parade, so you can check him out. I remember people making a big deal out of that in Cutlerville. But congratulations to him for the bronze medal that he earned in the Olympics. Somebody from Grand Rapids area here. The Tigers won the World Series on October 10, 1945, and again on October 10, 1968. How many times total have the Tigers won the World Series? Let's see, there was 84 and 68 and 45, and I don't know what was before that. There were probably a couple before that. So I know there weren't many before that. Let's guess 5 and see. I remember the 84. If you remember that, the Tigers had a great year. I mean, they were just smoking, especially with. Didn't they start the year with winning like? I think I remember the 35-5 is what they were. Something else. Jack Morris was pitching for them back then. They had Tramble and Whitaker that could turn those double plays at shortstop and second base, and Kirk Gibson. Yeah, I mean that was fun to watch back then. And I think NBC had the World Series, if I'm not mistaken, from way back then. So they brought in Vin Scully, who broadcast baseball for the Dodgers for a while, and he broadcasted into his 80s. He was still doing that. So that was interesting. So 4 is the correct answer here. 2 versus the Chicago Cubs and the Cardinals, and then the Padres in 1984. And the Tigers were really great in 84. I mean, they won the division by, I don't know, what, 12, 13, 14 games, something like that. They worked their way through the playoffs, and I think they won 4 out of 5 or 4 out of 6 World Series games. So interesting. Okay, on we go. October 10, 2023, the first woman football coach wins a high school game. On October 10, 2023, the Bear Lake 8-player. Now, we have some teams that don't have 11 players. They have 8 players. And I think you go down to Texas and they have some 7-player teams. They tend to be high-scoring games down in Texas. I know that. I saw one game was like 73-61, and I'm like, it's a basketball game. All right, the Bear Lake 8-player football team beat Baldwin 26-0. They were coached by a woman, Sam Mullett. It was the first time a woman coach ever won a boys football game in Michigan. So congratulations to her. And that was just a couple years ago in 2023. But I bet you'll see that happen again here soon. All right, on we go. Let's take a look at this. A couple pictures for you from John Scully, first of all. That could be the moon. Looking at you right there. Kind of reminds me a little bit of looking through that one of those boxes during an eclipse, and you actually see the sun kind of disappearing there. So that's an interesting picture from John. We've enjoyed the full moon here in September and in October because we've had so many clear skies. You just don't see that during the wintertime very often here. And I think we have one more picture here from John Doherty, a pretty sunset picture here from up in Honor, Michigan. That is, of course, Benzie County. My wife just went through Benzie County last night, early today. Had a good time up there with her sisters. But great place to spend some time during the summer or fall. At M22 drive, where you go around Leelanau County in a circle, there is really a nice drive. And you can get some information on your computer that for each town that you visit too, which is kind of interesting now. All right, thank you, John, for that and all the many pictures that you send to us here. We certainly appreciate it. Once again, for today, we're looking at, first of all, I should remind you, send me your comments and your pictures at bill@billsteffen.com. And the YouTube channel is Bill Steffen 616, just like the area code. I appreciate your support. Once again, I want to remind you that today will be a little bit on the cloudier side. There is that chance of a light shower, a little bit more rain north of town than south. And in just a minute, I will have to battle a cat who's looking at me over the computer right here. And yes, what can I do for you? You're making a lot of noise over there. People are wondering what's going on. Anything you want to tell me here? You're going to walk across my computer. The computer is, you can't see me because there's a cat in the way. You want to say hi to everybody here? I mean, you're in the background so often. I don't have a table set up for you to jump on, but this is Ellie Lou.